You know, you build, 21 movies over 10 years to this massive ending. And then the first thing you see is me and it's bad. Like, there's nothing fun. I can't go back to the barbershop. Talk massive amounts of trash if it was really happening.
I'm just gonna go ahead and create something over here.
Coming up on Another Act, I talk with Anthony Mackie about his new Marvel series on Disney Plus and exactly when he found out he was getting that coveted Captain America shield.
By the time we get to the end of Avengers Endgame, one of the treats honestly involves your character. I understand that there was so much secrecy, even for the actors, but at what point did you know that your character will be getting that Captain America shield?
I found out, I want to say like a week before. I was watching a football game over at a group of us got together at Chris Evans' place to watch a football game and talk massive amounts of trash. And he brought up if I had read the new script. And I hadn't. Of course, they didn't give me pages. So he literally dragged me through his house, sat me down, and gave me the 2 pages to read. So it was cool. I'm glad that I learned it from him because he's such a dear friend.
Yeah. You know, what did it mean for you? Because I know what it meant to audiences, and in particular, I know what it meant to Black audience members. What did it mean for you?
To be honest, it was like winning an Oscar. Is the only thing I could equate it to. The elation, the surprise, the question of if it was really happening. It was very emotional. At some point still is. It's like a dream.
Yeah. And now here we are picking that story back up in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. And what I love about this series is that there is so much culture injected in it, and we get to learn so much more about your character. When were you aware that filmmakers wanted to explore this in serial form, and how did that conversation start with you guys?
You all, once Endgame came out and destroyed the world of movie making, you always get a call a few months later, to come to LA and meet with everybody at Marvel. And one of the executives, Nate Moore and Kevin Feige, sat me down and, told me that we were going to do a series, which was surprising and scary at the same time because we had never done one before. I had never done streaming before. So I was, feeling a lot of fear and trepidation. I was almost sad about it because, I've been in, 6 movies now over 10 years. And it's always so exciting to go to the movie theater and see the movie.
Yeah.
And I didn't know if we would be able to translate the scope of what we had done on film to television.
The legacy of that shield is complicated. The world is upside down. People need something to get behind. They need the symbol. So what's our plan? So no plan. Great.
going on in that cyborg brain of yours?
You don't want to know.
Oh, yeah, I can see it working. Gears turning. Oh, they're malfunctioning. They're on fire.
God, I hate you.
You know, if you look at Endgame, the scope of that movie is massive. It's mind blowing. You know, to this day, you know, people still can't get over everything that happened in that movie. So, you know, I was very nervous about it, but Kevin assured me that he wouldn't let me suck, and so I took the leap of faith, and I couldn't be happier with it.
You know, and I was going to ask what your fears were with doing this, because this is you. You know, I've read you that you've joked about being number 6 on the call sheet, you know, before, and that's been like a running joke. But this is like you, and I didn't know if that if that gave you, you know, any additional fear on top of that, because you're carrying this series.
You know, you build, 21 movies over 10 years to this massive ending. And then the first thing you see is me, and it's bad. Like, there's nothing fun. I can't go back to the barbershop. It's like, it's like it validates all of your haters. It's like, told you wasn't shit. Now see, you done messed up Marvel. Now I can't even watch that anymore, So that was my greatest fear.
One of the many things that I really like about it is that Sam Wilson's origin story takes us back to New Orleans. And I couldn't remember if we knew that about him or not, because that's also your backstory too. And I didn't know if that meant that you got to be vocal about some of the things that we get to see while he's there back at home.
Yeah, when we were on set, there were certain things where I was like, yo, this ain't right. You don't pick up crabs like that. We don't have tilapia. We have speckled trout. It's things like that. So it was little things like that I was able to chime in on. But it was a point of pride for me, the fact that, we were able to go back and discover that part of him, because, Stan Lee, what he did, which was really amazing, the Falcon was reinvented in 3 or 4 incarnations in the comic book. As African-American culture evolved through civil rights to where we are now, the Falcon evolved with Black culture in America. So, I'm glad that that's the origin that they picked, because the original one, he was from Harlem.
Okay.
He was a hustler. He went down to South America, got into a plane crash. They pulled him into a lab. He came out the Falcon. And his wings weren't attachment. They were actual wings that they attached to him. So that was the first incarnation of the Falcon. But then it evolved as Stan Lee, being the consummate professional that he was, he evolved the character through those different phases to make him the stand-up model American that he ended up being in the comic book series.
When the trailer for this new series first dropped, one of my bosses called me and screamed in delight because Falcon is her son's favorite character, hands down. But 2, she saw what looks to be an HBCU marching band in a football field, and in that 2-second clip, it felt exceptionally important to her. And I don't know if even talking about this gives anything away, which obviously we wouldn't want to do, but it at least communicated to me and probably to her that this was going to really be an exploration of a character unlike what we've seen before in MCU. Is that the case?
That's very true. The one thing I love about being in the MCU, the Marvel universe, is the fact that they're very aware and open to the world that we live in. Entertainment is a business where it's about the bottom line. And, the entertainment business is very focused on keeping certain things a certain way, because that's what's worked. And what I love about what Marvel has been able to do is they've been able to take that mold, flip it, break it, and turn it into something completely different. With the poster behind you, if you look at the success of Black Panther and how the massive scope of that movie and how it changed the game, because a lot of studios wouldn't have made Black Panther because they would have said Black Panther wouldn't sell overseas.
Yeah.
Because they're Black. and Marvel never saw it that way. Even when putting females in the leads of large action movies, we now have the Black Widow film that's coming out. We have, WandaVision, which was led by a woman. You look at Captain Marvel, those are successful films that are helmed by women. I'm proud to say that as a studio, they're one of the more open-minded, progressive ones. And I think that's why they're so successful.
Are we going to see an HBCU marching band in this series? Can you at least break that news? Because I felt like I saw like a body roll from a drum major go back and like a dap, and the people want to know. They want to know, Anthony Mackie.
I went all around that question.
That's with you. Listen, as a daughter of a proud HBCU alum, I was also very excited to see that too. But also, because I know what you get with New Orleans and how rich the culture is in New Orleans. I mean, I'm walking into it having that expectation that we're going to see a lot of the things that you probably saw growing up in a city like New Orleans.
Oh, definitely. And I feel like, the great thing about having 6 hours with this show instead of 2 hours with a movie, you not only get my backstory, but you get Bucky's backstory. You get to see Zemo and his backstory. You get all of these different characters and how they've come to this point, because the show deals with society post-blip. So what's our new normal? Much like, the whole COVID situation that we're living in now. Once we're all vaccinated and we're past this point in our lives, what's our new normal? Because my new normal is do not come within 6 feet of me. If you like me from over there, dog. That's my new normal. I'm not going to clubs and gatherings, and I'm not doing that anymore.
Yeah, no, I definitely saw that connection too. And when I was watching certain moments when the blip was referenced, I was like, oh my God, this is 2021 post-vaccination. I mean, that's
100%.
definitely what it felt like, which none of you guys could have known when you were making this art, of course. And that just feels especially smart. The visibility of Falcon is elevated and because of the series, and it comes at a time that's really important with regard to representation, in Hollywood, but also in the Marvel universe too. We have a Black superhero again. How do you process that?
I think you take it in stride. I mean, the last thing I'm trying to be is a representative for a whole group of people. The only thing I can be is a representative from my daddy last name, and that's what makes me the proudest, the happiest, seeing where my grandfather came from, being a sharecropper, and my dad, having to drop out of school in 8th grade to work the land, my mom going to a Negro appointed high school, and now me being in the situation that I'm in. I think that's my main focus and ultimate goal and pride when it comes to representation. We don't put enough stake in our family names anymore.
Yeah.
And if you do, you're looked at as an awful human being.
Yeah.
So that's my biggest thing, that my family can sit back and know that I'm no longer a liability, I'm an asset.
I love that. And you know what? I have to say, you're representing your family very well right now, because for the first time ever in interviewing you, I am hearing your drawl and I love it. I've never, because see, I met you as like Papa Doc and Clarence from the Burbs, because I'm from Detroit originally. And I remember we talked about 8 Mile. So like, I met that guy and I wasn't hearing the accent. And I love it. I feel like I need some gumbo right quick. This is awesome. But all of this brings me to Anthony Mackie, the producer, and soon the director. And that's probably in some ways even more important, I think, than Anthony Mackie, the actor, because we all know what the power behind the camera is. Where were you in your career when you first started thinking about doing something other than being front-facing talent?
I would say about 6 years ago. There was a lack of projects that I wanted to see. Hollywood had gotten this cycle of remakes and explosions. The only time people were going to the movies was if it was a tentpole or a Marvel movie. And I started thinking about the movies that I loved to watch growing up. And now those movies that are classics wouldn't be made today, and the business goes in cycles. We had the Black exploitation cycle, then we had the Black power cycle, and then we had the Morris Chestnut, Vivica Fox, Different World, Cosby cycle. And now we're coming into the next generation of Black Hollywood, Black films. And I wanted to put my stamp on that. I want to, if this, Marvel recognition is going to get me anything, I want to use it to make the movies that I would like to see, that I would like my sons to see, that my family would appreciate and enjoy to watch with me.
Well, soon everyone is going to be tweeting, posting, gagging, and talking about Falcon and the Winter Soldier. And there's going to be so much more attention on Anthony Mackie. What type of project would you love for someone to slip your way immediately, when that happens? Is there something that you haven't done yet that you would love to be able to bring to life?
I want to do a love story. I feel like I'm a handsome enough dude. I want to do like a whatever movie they wrote for Morris Chestnut and he couldn't do. I want to do that movie. I want to find my Sanaa Lathan, my Nia Long, and I want to make like 20 love stories. I want to do my Love Jones.
Yeah. Okay. And living in New Orleans is a choice. Is there a reason why you didn't necessarily want to be in Los Angeles, even when the world was open and all of that good stuff? Is there a reason why you wanted to stay home?
It's too much. It's the highways and the people. I'm within 2 degrees of separation from everybody in the city of New Orleans. I can find you within 24 hours. In LA, it's too much. It's too many people. It's too much smog. I can't deal with that. I like to go fishing. I like to play golf. I like to be in a city where people don't bother me. We don't have that here. Everybody lets you be.
Man. Well, Anthony Mackie, I want to thank you and that gorgeous Southern drawl for dropping by and doing this today. This was so much fun. I'm really, really excited, not only for the rest of this new series to drop. I need all of it right now, but also for all the products that you have coming up too. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.